we got this from CNN. Man in tactical vest with loaded shotgun arrested after charging U.S. Capitol, police say. An 18-year-old in a tactical vest, we get it. Police identified the man as Carter Camacho of Smyrna, Georgia, and said he acted alone. They are working to determine a motive. Capitol Police Chief Michael Sullivan said Camacho, armed with a loaded shotgun, carrying additional rounds, drove a white Mercedes SUV near the Capitol before exiting and running toward the building. He was intercepted by Capitol Police, who drew their firearms and told him to drop his gun and get on the ground. Camacho complied and laid down before being arrested and taken into custody. Who knows what could have happened if we didn't have officers? The individual had a tactical vest on, the chief said, as well as tactical gloves. Police have charged Camacho with carrying a rifle without a license, having an unregistered firearm and ammunition, as well as unlawful activities. He was not previously known to Capitol Police. Now, I will say we hear stories about this from time to time of some wackaloon doing something crazy at the Capitol. And I would argue one of two things. If this guy was serious, why would he dress in the most obvious way imaginable with a large weapon and run for it? If he got out of the vehicle and just walked, most people probably would not have noticed that much. Someone might have stopped and said, excuse me, what are you doing? But the clothes that he's wearing might just look military to the average person. And if he's calmly walking, they might not think that much about it. I would also then counter my own argument with stupid people are stupid. And they do stupid things because they're stupid. So
yeah, doing that is very, very stupid.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back. I made this point on the Noon Live, and I've said it previously. Is the very scary thing that's happening in the United States is we're getting a higher and higher proportion of the population that literally has nothing to lose. And this is another example of that. This is just a guy that, for a myriad of reasons, literally has nothing to lose. So he's a crazy person, yes, but a crazy person with nothing to lose is a serious problem. Yeah. We saw it last night in Rhode Island. Now we're seeing it today, literally in our nation's capital. It's a really terrifying time that we're in because, okay, yes, this guy, whatever, he was bum rushing with tactical gear on. What happens when those people actually get serious? What happens when these people that have nothing to lose get serious? That's a very scary timeline that we would enter.
I want to just add, completely unrelated, YouTube's down.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
watch on Rumble.
Yeah. You can watch on YouTube if you have the direct URL, so I'll just tweet it out. But a lot of people are like, I can't find it because you go to
Kellen about it. He said it was on their end.
Yep, this is YouTube's front page is totally down. So anyway, Riley, is the world ending?
It feels like it sometimes. But about this moron who showed up to the Capitol with a tactical shotgun, what I can say, this is the most I can say. There are increased security questions, threats, and problems at the U.S. Capitol over last year.
Okay.
This is not a one-off.
Really?
Yeah.
So are these are like I don't know if classified is the right word, but they don't want people going around and talking about the security issues that they're experiencing?
There are some security issues at the Capitol, and all I can say, this is not a one-off.
Are we talking like individuals, or are we talking like potentially groups?
Hard to say right now if they're part of a group, but certainly individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, can you say anything else beyond that? I mean, avoiding specifics of what happened. Can we talk about, let me just say this. Let's step outside of whatever that statement was. And let me ask you, do you see any increased threats from any kind of factional, political, ideological groups or anything like that?
I'll speak for myself. Antifa specifically. I had obviously, you like to presume this stuff isn't public. They get rid of all of it on the internet, but you can find anything on the internet. I had an Antifa person show up to my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a few months ago. And just started going ballistic on my wife and my kids, and I wasn't there, and they were out in the yard.
Oh, God.
And cops showed up and all that. And look, I'm one person, but this is happening increasingly to members of Congress, but specifically Republican members of Congress. Of course, there's security issues for people like Ilhan Omar and AOC, and given their stature and all that and things that they talk about. But there are increasing threats to all Republican members of Congress. If you go look at the last appropriations bill, what's called the Ledge Branch bill, you will see in there that there is a pot of money that was put in to increase security for members of Congress. I'm actually the vice chair of that subcommittee, so I can't talk about the other stuff too much. But that money's there for a reason.
Yeah.
It is there for a reason where members of Congress can now contract armed security. And yeah, I mean, it's an
Are
increasing issue.
you're allowed to carry guns up there, right?
You're allowed to carry a gun, but the problem is you have to go get a DC concealed carry, which they have to allow you to get. But of course, they raise the price on it, where it's almost like $1,000
Wow.
to get the concealed carry for any member of Congress out of state. You can carry.
I wouldn't have a
Wait,
problem.
wait.
I wouldn't have a problem with Congress appropriating money so you guys can get
No,
guns.
but I just want to say, if there's one thing Congress is really good at, it's passing laws to benefit themselves.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
Can't you get this?
Yeah, I mean, I want just universal carry in the Capitol. I think we should be able to capital carry and all that stuff. You can get the concealed weapons permit to carry within the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. as a member of Congress, but you got to go through this very lengthy process of getting the concealed permit, which basically nobody gets in Washington,
Why would a
D.C.
member of Congress have to do that? Like, are we
insane.
really concerned that a member of Congress is going to just go rogue and start killing people?
Yeah, no. And that's why I myself, and I'm on the bill. I'm on a bill for capital carry.
You know what?
To allow members to carry in the
We've
Capitol.
also
I got to stop right there. I actually just thought about it and think Congress probably has a disproportionate amount of crooks. Maybe they should be.
Yeah, like some Congress members will just like get out of session and they'll go out somewhere in D.C. and start like jacking people and stealing their wallet.
I mean,
a little extra income,
A little bit, you know.
You know, and it's funny because there was a move. I can't remember how long ago it was. Congress trying to raise their salaries.
Yeah.
AOC got a lot of heat for it, and I was actually kind of middle of the road on it. I said, guys, you got to understand, you guys have to maintain two residences, and probably not you because
I'm like the exception, except for some of the Democrats around the Beltway.
Right.
But most everybody else do residences.
yeah, if you're within a few hours drive, you might just opt for driving a longer commute when you have to.
Yeah, or sleep in your office or get a hotel or, in the times that you can't go back home.
But if you're somebody who's, say, like, Wyoming,
oh, yeah, you don't have a choice.
right? And so what is the congressional salary? Like 174?
174, yeah.
And so you need to have a DC apartment and your home residence off that salary. They expect you to be working full time.
Yeah, and it is actually funny history on this thing. It is actually the law that there was a COLA passed. I think it was 2006. And then Pelosi started putting a waiver in on the COLA, which is now compounded over
What's a COLA?
cost of living adjustment. And so that's what all federal workers get. So this COLA was passed. I wasn't there then, obviously. It passed, and everyone's issued a waiver on it over the last 20 years, so now it's compounded. The funny thing is there's actually some members of Congress who have sued over this, and there's a lawsuit around the pay raise where it's like, look, this is law, the COLA's here. The Speaker or Congress can't just waive a law. You have to institute the law. So now you're in a place where if this lawsuit is successful, everyone's getting paid and back paid and all this other stuff
But
where they could have just done it.
I know it's rough. I've heard stories of members of Congress sleeping in their offices, like on the floor and stuff. You're not supposed to. But have you considered just insider trading?
Right, yeah. I mean, that's another option. Not for me. I don't own any stocks. But Anna Paulina Luna, she's got a bill on this, which we are going to take up in the House. We're going to take up the Stock Trading Act. That's coming up for sure. We have gone through that piece of legislation. We're going to vote on it. It's going to be a question of what the Senate does on that bill. I know a lot of people listening are probably really upset that Pelosi's retiring because now you're going to be able to pick your stocks based on what she's picking.
Well, but to be fair, Inverse Kramer beat Pelosi.
Inverse Kramer beat Pelosi.
You have to rely just on
real quick,
Inverse Kramer.
For those that don't know, Jim Cramer, the famous stock TV guy, if you only were to have bought the opposite of what he said to buy, you would have better returns than Nancy Pelosi, who is accused of insider trading to enrich herself.
Who's beating
That's
Warren
impressive.
Buffett, by the way.
Pelosi's beating Warren Buffett.
Yes.
Inverse Kramer is beating Warren Buffett?
Yeah,
I got to tell you.
Kramer is beating Warren
I think the secret is that Jim Cramer actually is a savant. He is a genius. And I'm just going to imagine that every time he says not to buy something, he winks.
Yeah. It was like
Like,
2008.
don't buy this one.
It
Wink.
reminds me of Seinfeld, Costanza. It's like, I'm just going to start doing the opposite of all of my instincts here.
It was like 08, and he's like, mortgage-backed securities, the greatest thing since
Yeah.
sliced bread, untouchable.
Unbelievable.
So,
Yeah, there's actually an app out there. It's like the Pelosi stock trader app or whatever, and you can just like whatever her put options are, you can mirror those.
yeah, I haven't been plugging it, but I'm printing off of it. I'll say that.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.